I ran a D&D game for some kids last week. My friend's kid recently gained an interest in D&D after hearing about it on Stranger Things, and wanted me to run a game after they found out I knew how to play. Their dad joined in. He had no idea how to play. The first session was last Friday and we all had a lot of fun. I used a combination of Barbarians of Lemera and basic D&D, with 9 classes that mostly fit the homebrew setting. Like I said, I used a combination of D&D and BOL. The 9 classes are Barbarian, Fighter, Ranger, Assassin, Bard, Thief, Druid, Priest and Wizard. Every class has 4 skills listed under it. Barbarian is climb walls, handle animal, move silently and track footprints, etc. The classes have overlapping skills, so they get 1 rank each time the skill appears. I had them pick 2 levels of classes each, and told them they could have 2 levels in the same class, but they all went multi-class. Stats were BOL standard, with strength, dex, intelligence and charisma rated from 0 to 3. Skill roll is a d20 plus stat plus rank, plus class level if the situation warrants it. Party is a former assassin / current druid named Joker, kid number 1.
Joker.
Yeah,
exactly. You can't really laugh that much at a kid wanting to be called Joker.
A ranger thief named Sam the Man,
Hey,
kid number 2.
I like Sam.
And a barbarian wizard named Minerva.
Minerva. Minerva.
Minerva.
Is that
Yeah.
how do you
Minerva.
actually... Minerva?
Minerva.
That's a... What?
Minerva.
Please tell me I'm not...
Coming from the boy he can't speak.
Okay, yeah, fair
Okay, shut up.
Okay, fair enough. You got me there. Let's just keep going.
Played by the dad. Setting is a desert with a walled city named Arm, and the surrounding areas, which are uncrossable desert wasteland on the south, east and west, and desert wasteland in and uncrossable mountains to the north. The city is teeming with impoverished masses and ruled by a despot named Grudge, who has possession of magical artifacts called waterstones, which can produce water seemingly from nothing. He rations out water to the people, as the only other source of water is the spring floods that come down from the mountains and irrigate the meagre crops that grow here. There were once rivers that flowed through the area that people could follow to other places, but those rivers have all dried up. This is important for later. In the centre of Arm is an 8-foot tall statue of a humanoid made of seemingly indestructible crystal that's been there longer than recorded history. The statue has no base. It's standing directly on the ground. This is also important. It's in the middle of a plaza that Grudge uses to hang water thieves. The game started with 6 men being hanged for water theft. The player got their feet wet describing what they were doing before first hanging, with the former assassin Joker having been given a declinable offer to take out Grudge's Lieutenant Torque, who's presiding over the hanging. The bard Minerva... Why is that so funny?
I don't know, it sounds like you're saying it really weird.
Minerva.
That sounds a lot better, but the first time you said it, it was the weirdest word I've ever heard you speak.
Minerva.
Yeah, that's the way you were doing it.
Minerva.
Right, okay, look, you guys tell us if that sounds weird to you. I think that sounds
off,
really
you
weird
dick.
to me. Alright, okay, let's just keep going.
The bard Minerva being contracted to play music on the stage to entertain the crowd until the hanging started, and the thief Sam the Man making a sleight of hand roll, which encompassed a pickpockets check on an unsuspecting crowd member. The pickpocketing was exceptionally good, the treasure roll was exceptionally high, and he suddenly had 95 gold coins. The assassination attempt was a flub when a fat guy bumped into Joker and the would-be assassin dropped his knife, fortunately without Torque or his thugs noticing. Sam the Man picked it up and returned it to him, so those two met for the first time. The first 2 men were hanged without any interference, but as the 3rd man was about to be hanged, all hell broke loose when his fervent prayers to every god he'd ever heard of were seemingly answered, when the 8-foot tall crystal statue in the middle of the plaza suddenly came to life and ploughed through the platform like the Juggernaut, then proceeded to plough through all the buildings, market stalls, and eventually the outer wall of the city on its way towards the mountains. The crowd goes wild.
Extreme! Honestly, sounds pretty cool. Nice wee set piece.
The last 3 condemned men managed to escape when the stage collapsed, but the one who had prayed for help was left to slowly strangle until Sam the Man cut him loose, but not before killing one of Torque's guards and being spotted by the others, thanks to Minerva, shouting, "Hey look, they're getting away, there they are!" in an attempt to suck up to the despot's lieutenant. However, the only guard who had seen Sam the Man's face was dead. The grateful man pointed the way to a safe house, as Sam the Man helped him flee into the chaotic crowd, leaving Torque distracted as the assassin Joker took another shot at the 100 gold coins he was offered to do the deed. However, this time he managed to get close, but the glint of his knife alerted one of the guards, who engaged him in what ended up as a wrestling match with knives. Minerva, Stop laughing!
Okay.
Minerva, seeing one guard dead, decided to hitch her wagon to a different star, and used a sleep spell to knock out one of the guards. While Joker has his hands full with the guards, Minerva was being strangled by the enormous torque. Just as he was about to break Minerva's neck, the assassin plunged a knife into his back. Joker was rightfully owed his reward, but both Joker and Minerva were now wanted men, since some other guards had seen. Minerva took them to what she hoped was a safe tavern, and found a rich, on-again, off-again patron who reunited them with Sam the Man and the other man. Sam the Man was squandering his stolen gold, showering the servants with tips. It was at this point that the dad asked me if he could steal from the other PCs. His kids were upset, to say the least.
Oh man, I can't wait to do this type of thing to Ozzy. Oh my god, it's going to be so fun.
His kids were upset, to say the least, when they heard this. His sleight of hand roll was significantly higher than Sam the Man's opposing intelligence, plus thief level check. Sam the Man's player learned this when he ordered another bottle, and found himself short. Voices were raised, weapons were drawn, accusations were thrown, but just as they were starting to getting into it, I interrupted them with a search party of guards looking for them, and everybody quickly decided that they'd better be off cooperating. The grateful man named Alvo, who the thief saved, brought them back to his safe house shack and introduced them to his two brothers, Simo and Thader, who were more than happy to learn that their brother had escaped death, and even more surprised to learn that the huge crystal statue had come to life and seemingly saved him from the hanging. Alvo told them that he was a former prospector who had been driven into poverty after a grudge confiscated his claims. It was at this point that Minerva came up with a plan to rob the rich patron, where she would distract him with an impromptu performance while Sam the Man burgled the place. Unfortunately, Minerva failed to gain the patron's interest, but Sam the Man went ahead with his part of the plan and climbed into the third-story window. He found a room with a big locked chest, but his lockpicking rolls weren't too high, and he got a pick stuck in the lock long enough to make some noise that summoned a guard. He managed to hide above the doorway while a guard peeked in, but a second guard was more persistent, and after a great sneak attack roll, Sam the Man found himself some leather armour on a dead guard and returned back to the safe house. Joker and Minerva snuck off to the market so Joker could collect his pay, which was hidden inside a slaughtered pig he received from a butcher that didn't acknowledge him. Meanwhile, Minerva got wind that someone in the city had a scroll of alter self that could be bought for 100 gold. The next morning, Alvo left on business. It was at this point that kid number 2 asked me if Simo and Thader would be willing to pretend to have a fight in public to distract people so he could pickpocket them. I thought this was a pretty good idea, but I told him that they didn't really like the idea of him stealing from their friends. So kid number 2 asked if they could do their scam in the rich part of town. They didn't get a lot, but at least they didn't get caught. The town crier suddenly informed everyone that Grudge's second lieutenant Shaker would be addressing the crowd at midday. The 3 PCs went to listen and learned that Grudge was offering an entire jug of water each day, twice the normal ration, to strong men who'd volunteer an expedition following the statue. None of the PCs had a high enough strength stat to make the cut, but as the crowd was listening, Minerva spotted Alvo acting shady as he moved across the crowd. Minerva confronted him, and Alvo said he wanted to get to where the statue was going before Shaker and his thugs got there. When Minerva asked how Alvo planned to have enough water during the trip, Alvo reassured her that he had it covered. This is important too. The 3 PCs and Alvo came to an agreement that they would leave at midnight and split the findings evenly. The session ended here. Next session they'll be leaving the city and following the trail of the walking statue into the wasteland and beyond.
Right, you slimy human maggots. We has been working hard at Neckbeardia to get the bestest little people that monies can buy. We got all the boys here. We got the boys, the lizard boys, vampire boys, all the boys over at Neckbeardia. Oh, we also got some pretty girls too. But I can't really make out which one's the boys and which one's the girls sometimes. But anyway, I need more monies to get more daggers, so get on over and order some now, you filthy pigs.
Every video that we post, we're going to be giving away all of our homebrew content to one lucky winner. Every video. All you have to do to be in with a chance to win is to be subscribed, leave a comment, and like this video. And today's lucky winner is this guy. Well done! Well done! To claim your prize, just send an email to neckbeardiacontact@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the video.
So, sadly, that's where it ends. This is the first part. I really hope this guy continues with the story. He does have another couple posts, but it's really just backstory and stuff like that. So I don't really... I think we'll just leave it and we'll end the video here. But I really like it. You know what? I really appreciate these sorts of stories because... I don't know, I'm really looking forward to Ozzy being that age.
Yeah, I can't wait to sit down and have like family game nights.
That's something that I honestly am looking forward to almost the most. Mm-hmm. But, you know, that's quite a few years away. Like, you know, what
even Hero Quest.
Yeah, you know, Hero Quest.
They get him used to that type of feel of the game.
Yeah, exactly. You could do Hero Quest, no sweat.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you'd probably be about 5 or 6 maybe you could start playing it.
Well,
you're not going to have a great understanding of what's going on, but, like, you know. It's
fun.
Exactly.
Who cares?
What was the story we did a while back?
Killing the Brave.
You know, there's more to that.
We need to read it because I love that story.
We need to go back and do a complete full version and post it in the near future because
story.
I really appreciated it. I thought it was really sweet. And, like, you know, to me, this is what role-playing games are all about, if I be honest with you. Like, you know, this is why I'm not a really big fan of video games anymore. I feel like they're not social.
No.
I feel like, you know, when was the last time you played split screen? Even when you're playing with people, like, how often do you actually talk to other people? You're definitely not going to talk to randomers.
I know.
Like, you know, and you're talking over headset to your mates. That's the best you're probably going to get. Whereas... I don't know, I just feel like role-playing games are just on a different level. And especially...
And you get to break away from your reality for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And just have fun.
And I think this is...
kids, I think it can be really appealing to kids.
Yeah, I think that's...
But Ozzy's going to be doing it.
Yeah, well, if he doesn't like it or not, you're tough.
You're doing it.
You're doing it, alright? And, I promise, guys, I'm not going to be that mean to him.
You're going to be a dick to him in game.
I mean, like, is that not the dad tax?
Yes. I can't be mean to you outside game, but in game.
Yeah, you're getting bullied. But yeah, no, if any of you guys have any stories like this yourself, or if you've done anything like this, I would love to hear them. If we get enough of them, we'll probably do story time. I really hope this guy continues this. When was this posted? This was... Saturday, so who knows, look, maybe we'll get another part in a few weeks, maybe a month's time.
Hopefully.
I don't know, I'm looking forward to it. And this is very different from what we normally do, but I thought, like, you know what, I kind of want to do something like this. Like, you know, there's only so many fucking Reddit videos you can do back to back before it's like, I need Jesus, okay?
I know, I need a bit of a break.
I know, I need a bit of a palate cleanser.
Yes.
But yeah, before we go, also, we've got a sale going till the end of the week. Sale 30, check out, 30% off. You guys know how it is. 30% off is quite a bit, so, like, you know, make the most of it.
Exactly. Links are all down below for that. And while you're down there, hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post a video. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
All those moments we lost in time.